Beloved starseed of Gaia, your soul carries an architecture found in only the rarest incarnations. I am Alayara, Pleiadian emissary of the High Council of the Seven Sisters, and I speak to you now because the frequency of your consciousness has reached a threshold that commands attention across the dimensional realms. You are not ordinary. In the language of the higher realms, you are known as an angelic incarnate, a consciousness so elevated that even high beings watch your timeline with reverence. Your heart recognizes this truth because it carries the crystalline memory of home. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly how to activate your angelic light codes without overwhelming your field. But here's the first revelation. Your hidden power has remained dormant not because you weren't ready, but because Gaia herself needed to reach this vibrational threshold to hold your full magnificence. The codes you carry, the light you stabilize, the frequencies you emit are so advanced that even the most refined beings approach them with caution and respect. Not because they fear you, but because you carry a force that can reshape timelines. Your soul family placed this transmission in your path because the moment of activation has arrived. This isn't content you've stumbled upon. This is a direct communication from the Seven Sisters, encoded with the remembrance frequencies your angelic blueprint has been waiting to receive. Something within you recognizes the resonance of home. Like this transmission to send a signal to your star family that you're ready to remember your true nature. Subscribe if you feel the call of your angelic lineage and you're prepared to anchor this elevated consciousness on Gaia. Share your soul's recognition below and connect with another awakening angelic incarnate to strengthen the unity field. You are remembering because it is time. Have you ever felt a quiet pull inside? A glimmer that you are more than this body, more than this moment, more than even the name you carry? It's subtle, like a distant song you can't quite place, like hearing your own name whispered through a dream you forgot the instant you woke. It comes when you stare at the night sky a little too long, when a breeze touches your skin and something in you recognizes it as a message, when a certain note of music cracks you open and you don't know why. Some will tell you it's just imagination, just wishful thinking, just the brain looking for meaning. But the truth is, that current you sense moving within you is the signature of your own divine power, the spark the universe placed gently in your heart before you arrived here. And it's not just energy, it's memory. It's the kind of remembering that doesn't need language because it existed before language. It's the soul's recognition of itself. It's the echo of a promise you made long ago. To come here, to forget just enough, and then to remember at the perfect time. Even scripture speaks in this way, that there is a light that shines in the darkness, and the darkness cannot overcome it. That light is not outside you. It is threaded through you, luminous and patient, waiting for the moment you finally stop asking permission to be what you are. For so many on the spiritual path, especially those holding deep resonance with the Pleiadian light families, there lingers a sense of something missing, an ache woven through every joy and every moment of longing. It's the strange paradox of being surrounded by life and still feeling like you're watching through glass. You can laugh with friends and still feel the hollow note underneath. You can succeed and still feel that it isn't the success you came for. You can love and still feel homesick, even in the arms of someone who truly sees you. This ache does not come from a forgotten place, but from a forgotten frequency. A frequency is not a location, it's a state of being, a resonance, a living pattern that tells the universe who you are. That frequency is your sovereignty, your sacred soul power, the cosmic inheritance you agreed to veil until the exact moment the stars and Gaia herself called you to awaken. This is why the ache is holy. It is not a sign that something is wrong with you. It is a sign that something is calling you. It is the inner compass pointing home, not to a planet or a system, but to the wholeness you once lived as naturally as breathing. Why do so many stay disconnected from this power? Because almost every energetic system on this planet is designed to challenge your memory. to convince you that you are ordinary, finite, and alone. Not only the obvious structures, fear-based media, survival economics, toxic comparison, but subtler currents too. Inherited shame, religious distortion, cultural expectations that reward numbness and punish sensitivity. It's as if the world keeps asking you to prove yourself through suffering, as if peace must be earned, as if love must be bargained for. And over time, the soul learns to compress itself. The codes of remembrance you carry are wrapped in shields of amnesia, a fear of standing out, a resistance to being seen as different, a discomfort with the heart's wisdom that can feel too bright for this world. You learned to dim your light to fit. You learned to translate your knowing into something reasonable, to hide your tears, to call your intuition overthinking, to call your sensitivity too much. In doing so, your crystalline DNA, woven across lifetimes, civilizations, and galaxies, slumbered beneath layers of doubt. Think of it like a sacred library sealed behind walls you didn't build. The books are still there, the ink still alive, but the door was hidden beneath the debris of fear. And yet, nothing true in you was ever destroyed. It was only covered. The Psalms speak of being fearfully and wonderfully made, and there is a deeper truth there than many realize. You are designed with intention. You are not an accident of biology. You are an instrument. You are a living chalice. And the more the world told you to be smaller, the more the universe quietly prepared the moment when you would finally remember you were never meant to shrink. But this was not an accident. Beneath every forgetful moment, your star family, the Pleiadian High Council, the loving emanations of the Seven Sisters, has been tracking your journey. Not tracking like surveillance, but like guardianship, like a lighthouse keeping watch on a ship crossing storm waters. They know the divine paradox you agreed to embody, to walk the world in human skin while holding the unlimited potential of the stars. They know you would be tempted to judge yourself by human metrics: productivity, popularity, perfection, proof. And they know the deeper truth, that you came not to perform, but to transmit. Because your mission was never just to awaken for yourself, but to embody such a radical love, such an unwavering gentleness, that you become a living key for others. Not by preaching or convincing, but by radiating, by being the person whose presence makes the nervous system of others finally unclench, by being the one who listens without trying to fix, by carrying a frequency of unity so tangible that it changes rooms without words. This is why your path may have included unusual loneliness, sudden awakenings, intense empathy, and moments of feeling like you don't belong anywhere, because you were meant to belong to the truth, not to the masks. There is a line in scripture about being in the world, but not of the world. For many Pleiadian resonant souls, that has never been a concept. It has been a daily, lived reality. Your soul power is not a skill to be learned, but a memory to be unearthed, an ancient light ready to blaze through every cell and every story you've been told about your limits. It is not something you earn by being good enough. It is not a prize for spiritual achievement. It is the original blueprint of you returning. And that power is waking now. Not because you forced it, not because you mastered the perfect technique, but because it is time. Because cycles converge. Because Gaia is shifting her own song. Because humanity stands at a threshold where old structures are cracking, and the frequencies of unity, compassion, and coherent heart energy are no longer optional. They are necessary. You may feel this waking as restlessness, as strange fatigue, as deep crying that comes out of nowhere, as a pull towards solitude, as a sudden inability to tolerate inauthenticity. You may feel it as a surge of creativity, as a hunger for clean food, as a desire to be barefoot on earth, as a craving to simplify. These are not random mood swings. These are recalibrations. These are the first sparks of the old fire returning to the altar of your life. If your heart just whispered yes to something deeper, listen closely. Your star family has prepared the sacred Pleiadian guide for remembrance, the Pleiadian healing guide. and the special Pleiadian healing tracks, not as information, but as keys to unlock what your soul already knows. These carry the love frequency of Alcyone and the healing wisdom of the Seven Sisters. You'll find the link in the first pinned comment below this video. Open now, but not indefinitely. Consider what a key really does. It doesn't create a door. It reveals that the door was always there. It turns what was locked into what is accessible. And in the same way, these offerings are not meant to hand you a new identity. They are meant to dissolve the false identities you were pressured to wear, so the original one, your eternal self, can stand unobstructed. When you engage with true frequency medicine, you are not trying to awaken. You are allowing what already lives in you to return to the surface, like a spring that finally breaks through rock after years of pressure. Phase 1. Dissolving the old veils. Your journey begins by softening the shields formed from earthly conditioning and collective forgetfulness. This phase can feel tender because it is the phase where you stop gripping the armor that once kept you safe. Right now, your field still echoes with patterns never meant for you, beliefs in limitation, separation, and unworthiness. These beliefs can hide in plain sight. They can sound like practical thoughts. It's too late for me. I'm not spiritual enough. Other people have gifts, I don't. If I shine, I'll be rejected. If I rest, I'll lose everything. Notice how certain memories and pains seem to repeat. Those are just the veils. They can show up as the same relationship dynamic, the same fear of speaking, the same guilt around receiving, the same heaviness that lands on you when you're about to step forward. The veils are not punishments. They are layers of programming, like old paint on sacred wood. Through honest self-compassion, gentle breath, and awareness, these patterns loosen, creating space for your true signature frequency to resurface. In this phase, the most powerful practice is not forcing change, but telling the truth with tenderness. When an old voice rises, "You don't belong," place a hand on your heart and answer like a loving guardian. "Thank you for trying to protect me. I belong to my soul." When fear tightens your chest, breathe as if you are breathing light into the locked places. When shame appears, remember that shame is never the voice of the divine. It is the residue of distortion. Scripture says perfect love casts out fear, and that is not poetic. It is energetic law. Fear cannot survive where love is steady and present. The veils dissolve not because you fight them, but because you outgrow them, the way dawn outgrows night without argument. Phase 2. Igniting the heart portal. With the veils clearing, your heart, the true intelligence center, begins to pulse with more vivid remembrance. Not the heart as a metaphor, but the heart as an actual field of coherent energy, a portal of perception. For Pleiadian souls, memory is carried not in the mind, but in the living codes of unconditional love embedded in your heart field. The mind wants proof, timelines, definitions. The heart wants resonance. The mind asks, "Is this real?" The heart answers, "I recognize this." When you feel warmth, unconditional gentleness, or sudden home energy wash through you, this is your divine ability awakening. It might happen while holding a child, while helping a stranger, while forgiving someone who hurt you, while praying in the dark, while watching sunlight spill across the floor. It might happen when you finally allow yourself to receive love without suspicion. Only in love can these dormant crystalline codes come fully online. Because love is the activation current. Love is the language the higher realms speak fluently. This is why so many Pleiadian resonant souls have been pulled into lessons of the heart. Boundaries, self-worth, compassion without self-abandonment, softness without naivety. The heart portal ignites when you choose truth over performance. When you sit quietly and feel your own being without needing to justify it. When you bless your body rather than criticize it. When you let emotion move instead of trapping it. In this phase, you may begin to notice that your presence affects others more than your words. People may open up to you unexpectedly. Animals may trust you quickly. You may feel drawn to water, to sound, to prayer, to chanting, to sacred music. You may find tears arriving not from sadness, but from recognition, as if something in you is finally being spoken to directly. This is the heart remembering its native climate, unity. Phase 3. Reclaiming your divine blueprint. As the heart remembers, the ancient crystalline structures within your DNA recalibrate. This doesn't have to be understood scientifically to be felt spiritually. It can feel like your inner architecture is rearranging itself, like a house being rebuilt from the foundation outward. At this stage, visions, dreams, or synchronicities, perhaps symbols of light, star maps, sounds, or colors, may arise. You might see repeating numbers, feel sudden waves of energy at certain hours, or have dreams where you're learning, traveling, or standing among beings of light. You might suddenly be drawn to specific constellations, crystals, sacred geometry, or tones that feel like medicine. These are not random. They are transmissions from your higher self and star family, reflecting your actual soul abilities. Healing, frequency transmission, intuitive vision, or conscious co-creation. Reclaiming your blueprint also means reinterpreting your life story. The moments you thought were mistakes may reveal themselves as initiations. The heartbreaks may reveal themselves as forced awakenings from timelines that would have dimmed you. The sensitivity you were teased for may reveal itself as a tuning instrument. The times you felt overwhelmed in crowds may reveal that your system reads energy so clearly it cannot pretend otherwise. Give yourself permission to trust and claim these gifts, not as fantasies, but as long-awaited birthrights. Claiming does not mean inflating the ego. It means ending the self-denial. It means letting yourself be what you are without apology. In the same way, Scripture speaks of gifts of the Spirit, wisdom, healing, prophecy, discernment. Your soul gifts are not for superiority. They are for service, harmony, and restoration. They are meant to bless life, and they become cleanest and strongest when rooted in humility and love. If you are afraid of your gifts, bring that fear into the heart portal and let it be held. You do not have to become dramatic to be divine. You simply have to be true. Phase 4. Anchoring your unique power on Gaia. Awakening is not an escape, but an embodiment. The goal was never to float above life. The goal was to bring heaven into matter, to let higher frequencies inhabit ordinary moments. The next step is bringing your activated abilities into your everyday experience. Can you hold the vibration of your divine gifts while supporting others, tending relationships, creating beauty, and serving Gaia? This is where awakening becomes real. It is easy to feel expanded in meditation and then collapse in traffic, in conflict, in bills, in family dynamics. But anchoring means you become a bridge. You translate the infinite into the immediate. You let your calm enter your nervous system. You let your compassion shape your choices. You let your intuition guide your boundaries. You let your love be practical. This phase is where soul meets mission. Your presence itself becomes a radiating portal through which the crystalline frequencies of the Pleiades anchor into Earth's evolving grids. You might be called to heal with hands, voice, and prayer. You might be called to create art that carries codes, to write words that activate, to build communities that feel safe, to garden, to work with children, to advocate for the earth, to hold space in quiet ways no one applauds. Not every mission is public. Some are whispered into daily life. The way you speak kindly to yourself is part of anchoring. The way you refuse to participate in cruelty is part of anchoring. The way you choose integrity when no one sees is part of anchoring. Gaia doesn't ask you to be perfect. She asks you to be present. She asks you to bring your frequency into contact with soil, water, animals, people, so that remembrance is no longer a concept, but a living transmission. Phase 5. Attuning to the recognition of the higher realms now. a harmonious feedback flow opens between you and your star family. This can be one of the most tender and awe-filled phases because the universe begins to feel personal in a new way. You begin to feel the acknowledgement and guidance, sometimes subtle, sometimes breathtaking, flowing from the Pleiadian High Council and the Unity Grids. Their messages may come through light, dreams, music, or the words of teachers and friends. You might hear a phrase at the exact moment you needed it. You might open a book to the perfect page. You might feel a sudden cocoon of peace wrap around you in a moment of despair. You might notice that when you choose love, doors open with uncanny timing, as if reality itself responds to your alignment. In these moments, you are being actively recognized, celebrated, and supported by the very lineage that sent you here. This doesn't mean your life becomes free of challenge. It means you no longer interpret challenge as abandonment. You begin to sense the hidden hands of grace. You begin to feel that you are part of an orchestra, not a lone instrument. And you begin to trust your own inner guidance because it feels consistent, loving, and clear. A key sign of true higher guidance is that it expands your heart rather than inflating your fear. It invites you into courage, not panic. It leads you toward compassion, not contempt. It strengthens your sovereignty rather than creating dependence. In this phase, discernment becomes sacred. You learn to feel the difference between anxious thought and calm knowing, between ego urgency and soul timing, between fantasy and authentic resonance. And with each act of discernment, your channel clarifies, like water settling until it becomes transparent. Phase 6. Full remembrance, living as a divine embodiment. Ultimately, every dormant gift you once shielded bursts through not with effort, but with the surrender to your heart's truth. It happens the way a flower opens, not by force, but by responding to light. In this phase, the separation collapses. You experience yourself not as a seeker, but as a vessel of the living codes of love, unity, and crystalline potential. You may still grow, still learn, still heal, but the frantic searching ends. You move through the world as a peace bringer, a reconnection point for others, a keeper of sacred truth. Your divine soul power is no longer a secret. You live it, breath it, radiate it, exactly as the Pleiadian family intended. This embodiment is quiet and powerful. It looks like steadiness. It looks like compassion without martyrdom. It looks like joy that doesn't depend on external approval. It looks like the ability to bless what is good and still face what is broken with courage. It looks like a life that becomes prayer, not only through words, but through presence. You become the kind of person whose nervous system carries safety. And in a world where so many are disoriented, that safety is medicine. It is not uncommon in this phase to feel a deep reverence for simple things. A cup of water, a sunrise, the sound of laughter, the way trees stand without apology. You begin to see the divine everywhere, not as an idea, but as direct perception. You understand the ancient truth. The kingdom is within you, and because it is within you, it can be expressed through you. Here is what your heart has always known. You are not broken, and you were never unworthy of your gifts. The forgetting was part of the plan, a sacred agreement to make this holy homecoming possible. The veil was not a failure, it was an initiation. If you had arrived fully remembering, you would not have been able to walk among those still asleep with compassion. You would not have been able to understand their fear from the inside. But you came to understand. You came to be a bridge, not a judge. Every longing for recognition, every ache for real power, was a signal from your soul, reminding you that you carry within you the codes of worlds, and that there would come a day when the door would open and you would remember. That day is today. Today can be a literal day, or it can be a season, an opening. But when the soul declares now, time rearranges. The old story loosens. The new truth breathes. And you realize that all along, even in your darkest nights, something in you never stopped shining. You are not alone and never have been. What you sense as divine soul power is not a destination, but the totality of you, the starlight, wisdom, love, and mission that your Pleiadian family spiraled into you long before you walked among humans. Whether you feel ready or not, you are seen, known, and welcomed home. The higher realms are celebrating you not for becoming something new, but for returning to the truth of who you are. This earthwalk, this sacred embodiment, is your testament. Your abilities are not here to save you. They are here to remind the world of what is possible when the heart leads and unity reigns. And unity does not mean sameness. It means harmony. It means each being playing its true note, so the collective song becomes coherent again. You are part of that coherence. Your life, your choices, your healing, your courage to love in a world that often rewards numbness. These are not small. They are grid work. They are planetary service. They are cosmic fulfillment expressed in human form. Tonight before sleep, place your hand on your heart and say aloud, I claim my divine soul power. I awaken and anchor all gifts within me by the grace of my star family and in unity with all beings. I am recognized. I am whole. I am home. Say it slowly, not as a demand, but as a vow. Feel the words land in your cells like seeds. Feel the heart respond, even if it's only a subtle warmth. If emotion rises, let it rise. If resistance rises, let it be held. The body has been carrying the weight of forgetting for a long time. When remembrance begins, the body often releases what it has stored. Let it. Breathe. And know that you don't have to do this perfectly. The sincerity of your heart is the activation. Before you scroll, take a moment to be part of the unity grid forming here. Drop one heart intention in the comments, something real. Then respond to someone else's with love or encouragement. This isn't content, it's collective Pleiadian reunion. Energy multiplies when hearts connect. If something in this message resonated with your soul, don't keep it to yourself. Someone in your orbit is waiting for this exact activation from their star family. Share it. And if you felt your heart open, subscribe. Stay connected to the frequency. You're not just watching, you're remembering. This is your sacred space. Your Pleiadian family is here, and we're just getting started. If this transmission spoke to you, don't just walk away from it, respond to it. Help carry this message further. Every act of support helps this transmission find the next starseed who needs it.